When you can enjoy the silence, that's when the whole entire world opens up. That's when you can finally open up. All the time, we fill our inner space with music, with podcasts, with videos, with so many things, me included. And when you can finally just sit in nature, sit in the peace, and just enjoy your own company, I think that's when you can finally take a breath. When we are running so fast to get from point A to point D, we forget what we have in the moment. We forget the beauty that is around us, and that we owe it to ourselves to take a second and appreciate it. The sun, the moon, the sounds of nature, everything that society can't give us. Society can't give us nature. Society can't give us peace by far. And yet, we are so enveloped in it. But ironically enough, when we step ourselves out into nature, out of our phone, that is when we feel most at peace. That is when we feel most enlightened. And I think it takes hard days, busy days, loud days, packed days to find that peace. That piece of peace. Because you don't know one without the other. It's like you don't know the sun without the clouds, the moon without the sun, heat without the cold. Because we don't always take a moment to stop. We don't always take a moment to smell the roses. We as in me and us. I think there's beauty within that to just be. I think my biggest takeaway from these past, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm coming up on my 8th week being done. I'm so excited. But just to be, just to live, and not to do, not to be anybody, not to feel like you have to be anybody. You don't have to live up to someone's standards. Because you weren't meant to live up to expectations. You weren't meant to be something that's so concrete. You were meant to just be. This is gonna sound cheesy, but you were just meant to be who you are. There's so many things that are telling you to be something, to be someone, to do something bigger than life. But is that what you truly want? Is that how you're gonna leave your mark? Don't get me wrong. There are so many amazing people that have left their mark on the world. Einstein, Bezos, Elon, all, like Bill Gates, like so many famous names that have gone and will go down in history. And you have to ask yourself, are they living? Are they being? Are they doing? Are they satisfied? Could they sit with their own thoughts? Could they be in the silence? And sometimes people are fine without that. There's nothing wrong with that. And there's also nothing wrong with being okay to sit with yourself in silence. And I think when we learn and when we better understand what we want and what we do, that's where we can find our inner peace. That's where and when we can find our quiet stillness. Because society is telling us to do, to be, to create something bigger than your life, to work super hard to build something that you are so proud of. But when you look back 60 years from now, are you gonna wish that you put in another hour? Or are you gonna wish you would have taken more time off? Would you have wished that you would have spent more time with your family? Would you have wished to enjoy the younger years of your life? Because, do not get me wrong, when you need to work your butt off. And at the same time, enjoy what you have. And I think that's where you can find it in the silence. That's one thing I think we all feel so grounded in, is why nature is our grounding space. Because you are in complete awe of nature. You're in complete awe of nature. You're not asking it, that branch is kind of a little too long. Let me cut it. That squirrel, it's a little too gray. Let me change it. Yeah, that plant over there, it's a little too tall. I'm gonna change it. Like, you don't ask nature to be something else that it's not meant to be. It just grows in silence. It just is in silence, with or without your presence. It's like that question of like, does a tree make a sound if it falls and no one's around? Obvious answer is yes, but who's there to prove it? I mean, you could stick a camera in the forest and wait for it to fall and it'll make a sound probably. But it just is. That's all that you and I are meant to be, I think, at the end of the day. We aren't meant to be doers. We aren't meant to be anything that our hearts don't want, that actually fulfills us. Because it just makes me feel like 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now, am I gonna look back and think, man, I wish I would have continued studying chemistry. Oh man, I wish I would have done so many different things. Maybe. But maybe I will wish that I would have enjoyed my younger years. Maybe I wish I would have slowed down. Because looking back when I first started college, I genuinely wish, okay, maybe not genuinely, I'm glad I worked hard because I wouldn't be here without that. But at times I wish I wouldn't have stressed so hard. I wish I would have enjoyed the moments a little more. Don't get me wrong, I thought about that. I'm like, man, I remember freshman year, I was sitting with like the four of us, including myself, who were just neighbor roommates. And I'm like, man, Emma, you're gonna wish one day to be sitting in these lofted bunk beds with these 3 girls one day. And that time has passed. And I don't think I would wish to go back. And I'm glad I had that moment. But I wish I would have savored other moments and realized to slow down. And I wish the same thing I did in high school, when I entered college. I wish I wouldn't have worked so hard. And I think that's kind of where the silence comes in. That would have given me that time to soak in what I have. And that's why I'm just trying so hard to enjoy what I have right now. It's because I know this won't last forever. And I know that there's a lot of pain, and there's a lot of anger, and there's a lot of sadness, and there's a lot of gratitude, and there's a lot of prosperity and growth that I would not have had without this opportunity and this internship in these past full 8 weeks tomorrow. And I feel like I've grown a lot personally, and I think hard skills wise, being able to learn how to multitask. And yeah, I think it's been very eye-opening to the world of what I want in life. And I think maybe one day I'll want a business. Maybe one day I will want something bigger than myself. And I think right now I just want to live a softer life. I just want to be able to do something that's slow pace, that I enjoy. I can soak up all the silence that I want. I can be the person that I want to be, not be the person that has to do the most to be the most productive, to feel enough, to do enough, to be big enough to take up the room. Because today I worked a decent amount, like all day, because I'm like, shoot, Emma, like you have to make up for the times that you were like burnout and everything, and that you were struggling and everything. And it's like, it'll get done. It will get done. Because tomorrow I'm gonna go see family. So excited. And I was like, Emma, like you should like do some research and then like just do that until you have to leave, and so you can get as much stuff done. But then it's like, am I gonna wish I would have spent more time doing my work? Or am I gonna wish I had more time with my family? And I think that's where the reflection comes in. That's where the silence helps. Because then you can figure out what you want, not your cortisol-induced self, what they want. So, I want to leave you with this. Answers come in many different forms and in many different ways. And I think the easiest way to find the best answer is through reflection and silence. Food for thought.